Damn Opinion, where fact, fiction, logic, lewdness, history, and humor combine for pure chaos. DamnOpinion.com.
So let's get into it.
Here we go now.
So I was thinking about this the other day. We lived in a very unique time frame growing up. When we were in high school and college. That whole Gen X period, you know, where we drank out of garden hoses and everything. It's huge on TikTok and Instagram now.
I know.
The Gen X people.
People are like, how could you drink out of a garden hose?
Yeah, we're getting respect from like Gen Z, and they're like, don't mess with the Gen Xers. But I thought to myself, you know what was interesting about Gen Xers is we had the old golden age of Hollywood that was still kind of at their peak but waning. And then we had a whole slew of brand new people coming up to be the next wave of actors and actresses. And I thought to myself, well, we had so many different kinds of movies and so many different famous people. Which ones were the most impactful, you think, as an actor or an actress from Gen X?
So for instance, growing up in Gen X time frame, what movies?
Right. It could be, I'm going to randomly name, it could be Rock Hudson or it could be John Candy. I'm just throwing people out.
Sure. So you're not talking about the actors or actresses. You're talking about the movies, right? The movies themselves.
Actually more the people. So like John Candy. John Candy was an amazing actor.
Okay.
Comedy, got it. But he also did some serious stuff.
Okay.
Huge in Gen X. I mean, I could go on and on, but that's
one of the ones I think of is John Cusack.
Oh yeah, John Cusack.
He was in Say Anything. He was in Better Off Dead. He was in a couple others that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but Say Anything is like one of our Gen X movies.
I love
as Lloyd Dobler.
I will watch John Cusack if he is in a movie.
He's really good. It might be into the 90s, but the Record Store one. Empire Records, I think that's called.
Empire Records. He was in Room 1408.
Have you seen Empire Records, Bill?
I haven't. No. You know me.
As a musician person, I can't believe you've never seen Empire
But I've
Records.
listened to the entire soundtrack 5 times over. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
He makes a top 5 list for everything.
Oh, he does. I mean, Room 1408 is another huge movie, very weird thriller thing. And then he was in 2012.
I would say Winona Ryder.
Well, yeah. I mean, but can you name more than 2 movies?
She was in Beetlejuice.
Yep, that's the obvious one.
She was in Edward Scissorhands.
That's
she was
the other
in
one.
The Heathers.
I don't remember that, but I know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I think Clint Eastwood was one of those great. I mean, he's every
from the
decade.
golden age, but then he carried over into the Gen X.
Exactly.
Period. Yeah,
and it's like he's your dad's favorite actor and your favorite actor, and then maybe even your kid's favorite actor. Really, it's like he's amazing.
But I don't know if I identify him with Gen X. He's more like 70s.
That's true.
I love him. Don't get me wrong. But I'm thinking Gen X. I'm thinking Breakfast Club, Blues Brothers. I'm thinking movies like that came out in the 80s. Clinton was much more 70s.
You never saw his Oscar-winning movie, Any Which Way You Can? With the orangutan?
So
Are
good.
you kidding? It's so good.
So good. The fight scenes in that movie are so good. What was the name of the orangutan?
Orangey?
Clyde.
Oh, it was Clyde. Very good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what about...
just to be clear, though, right? It's Generation X is between the 60s and the 80s. 65 to 80.
So are we talking about the movies that were... But are you watching those movies when you're 9?
Yeah, I was watching Clint Eastwood movies. Are you kidding? When we were kids...
Those were impactful to you at 9.
Absolutely. Because at least where I grew up... Every Sunday morning, you'd have cartoons until noon, and then they cut you off, and all you got to do is watch Westerns.
I get it. I grew up in SoCal, and I got subjected to lots of movies.
Right.
But I'm thinking more as a teen, as you're becoming who you are. And
in the late 70s and 80s.
I'm thinking 14 to 22 maybe is your really... At 9, you like it, but at 14 to 22... Though,
yeah, but there's some movies that made a huge impact when I was young, like The Sting with Robert Redford.
Yeah, that is a huge impact. The Sting.
I would say
another
Jaws,
one was,
but that's 76.
Well, I get
Star
it.
Wars.
I know
76.
I know 77, 76. I know.
I'm 8 years old.
Well,
and it made a huge impact on the world. Like Harrison Ford. You've got Star Wars. You got Raiders of the Lost Ark. You've
Harrison
got
Ford's
all
a good
that.
one.
You know,
He was in everything every year almost.
yeah, he was in Blade Runner, right? I mean, he's the man.
Regarding Henry, where he played the
generation.
serious one and had a brain injury.
Don't you love how Mark always picks the girl movies?
Oh my God.
So do you remember the Frisco Kid?
Oh, yeah. Gene Wilder.
When I saw it originally when I was a kid, I love this. Have you seen it, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great. Now I've watched it. I rewatched it as an adult, and it's not very good
No,
at all.
no.
It's horrible.
That's a kid movie.
Well, that's like Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is, you couldn't make that.
Gene
today.
Wilder is one of those actors.
You couldn't make that movie today.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, you couldn't remake
History
it.
of the World Part 1.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, that's a 70s movie. But
I
that's a
know,
great
but that's still really good.
movie. Yeah.
Well, John Belushi was huge, and Dan Aykroyd was huge.
So was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
Murray.
Eddie Murphy was huge.
I mean, all the National Lampoon movies.
Oh, yeah, Chevy Chase. We forgot about him.
Everybody does. Sorry, Chevy.
Well, Chevy hasn't aged well. You know, everybody hates Chevy Chase.
Yeah, it'd be tough. If you're going from the time you were born with Gen X to now, that covers a whole range. That's what I was trying to think when I was a teen and I was really going to the movies.
Okay, what about Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen?
Not at home watching, going to the movies with my friends. Those are the movies I was trying to think of when I would get with my friends and you didn't quite have a driver's license yet, or you got your driver's license and you're with your friends, you went to the movies and saw those type of movies
Yeah.
that were new and that came out. That's what I was thinking in my mind, those Gen X actors that I saw at that point.
Well, you had all the teens, and what did they call the teens that we're all talking about?
It's like the Rat Pack.
The
of
Rat
the teens.
Pack.
It was all the
Right.
John
It's called
Hughes
the Brat.
movies.
It's called
Yeah.
the Brat Pack.
The Brat Pack, thank you. The Brat Pack. But, you know, that defined teenagers at that time. But, you know, Tom Hanks was going. Richard Dreyfuss was huge.
You had
back
Bruce
then.
Willis, you had Die Hard.
Yeah, you had Die Hard. Yeah.
Okay, what about, guys, Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Huge.
The first, what the movie was, and he was in Taps. I think that was his first movie. At least that's the first movie I ever saw him in.
It might have been All the Right Moves. It's one of the two.
Really? Okay, we can look that up. I just remember seeing Taps, and he had a small part.
He did.
And I literally said out loud, "That guy's a good actor," and
He was good.
you know, he's going somewhere someday. I didn't say that, but I said he's a great actor. He really stood out in that movie. You know, so
You know, he's kind of a short person in real life.
yeah, and in real life, I don't want to meet him,
Really?
but
I hear he's nice to his fans.
Well, I'm sure, but I, you know, the whole Scientology thing and some of the weirdness that he's really.
So you wouldn't want to meet him, even though he's nice, just because he thinks a different way than you do? Well, there goes half the world in you meeting them, Bill.
Well, I'm not big on
Scientology?
Scientology.
Anybody
no.
different than you?
No, I mean, I hate to say this, but I think that there are some supposed religions that are actually not good, and I think Scientology is one of those. So how can I?
How'd you
really wanna
forget
be
how
around
many
them?
good movies there were in the 80s? Field of Dreams, Platoon, Rain Man, Wall Street, Full Metal Jacket, The Color Purple,
Yeah,
Stand By Me.
Oh, that was a great
Yeah, Danny
movie.
Glover. Oh, and what's the other guys? Mel Gibson was a big.
Mel Gibson
guy.
was a huge one.
Right?
Matthew
Yeah.
Broderick, Ferris Bueller, War Games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lady Hawk.
Lady Hawk, Big Trouble in Little China. It's a great movie. Willow.
Okay, you got to pick one. This person's going to be your roommate.
Oh, okay.
Who are you going to pick?
So what movie star would I pick?
From the Gen X period, that whole experience. We just named a million of them.
That would be my roommate.
Yeah, you got to say, okay, this is my roommate.
I'm going with Dan Aykroyd.
You going with Dan Aykroyd?
Aykroyd?
Aykroyd. How do you say his last name?
Aykroyd.
Aykroyd. I'm going with Dan Aykroyd.
Do you get him now or when he was in the 80s
I take him
popular?
either time.
Because he was on a lot of cocaine at that point.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Feels like, yeah.
I know
yeah.
he'd be a little crazy, but
Yeah.
he loves blues music, and we could bond on that, and I'm good.
That's probably true.
So you'd have to get over James, John Belushi crashing into your apartment every once in a while.
Sure, whatever. I'll have a lock on my door. And probably access to a lot of cocaine. So there you go.
You would have access to a lot of cocaine.
Wow. Wow.
And you know what? Gilda Radner would probably come over.
Oh, she probably would come
And
over.
I'd get to hang out with Gilda Radner, which is actually maybe I should just make Gilda Radner my roommate. That would be cool. Gilda Radner.
probably
Okay, I'm
a
going to
pretty
put
good one.
her on the list. Yep, she's on the top. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. My roommate? Oh, I think I'd pick Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
You know what? He seems down to earth.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, he seems like cool.
Because his dad's even still down to earth, and he knows everybody.
I'm either taking Kurt Russell or Bill Murray. It's one of the two.
Kurt Russell's a good call.
No, you cannot take Bill Murray.
But you couldn't handle Bill Murray. He's incredibly smart, and he would get so mad at you.
Yeah. How many roommates have you had that were shit? That'd be the point of it. I've got a shit roommate that's Bill Murray. They'd be like, your roommate's Bill Murray. He's an ass.
I just don't want him playing drums at 2 a.m. and bringing a whole party over. That's what he.
I think
did.
Kurt
What
Russell.
do you think Dan Aykroyd's going to do on coke?
I think Kurt Russell's the better call.
I think I'm going Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's cool.
The Thing.
Are we talking about your roommate again?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to
Big
make sure.
Trouble in Little China. Escape from New York. Kurt Russell.
You know,
And Flubber.
Flubber. You talking about Goldie Hawn? I hope not. Hold on a second. So I'm thinking here, I have too many nicknames in my life, right? But there's 2 that stick out more than any. One that was given to me.
Twinkie the Kid.
No, not that one.
Pedophile?
Michelin Man.
No, none of those are good. It's one that was given to me, Prickles, right? Long time ago, so
That's
it's
the
stuck.
one.
But then you gave me one, James, that literally, if I had to pick a nickname, it fits what I am.
The Ghost?
No, you call me all the time.
That's true. He does call you the Ghost.
No, that's not that works
Chaos.
part time. Yes.
Chaos is really what you
Captain Chaos literally fits everything that I am.
are. It totally does.
And it chaos doesn't mean it's negative.
No, it's just chaos.
It's just crazy insanity could happen.
Yeah. Prickles, where would you like to eat? Food.
Yeah.
What kind of food?
Chinese, Vietnamese, Asian.
Hot.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And then just as you pull up to the parking lot, you change your mind to barbecue.
right.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Then once we're inside the Chinese food place, you're like, can I get spatzel?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our
That's
life. with
exactly.
you.
And so the nickname completely fit. So Bill, if you had, I knew that stupid one you had when you were in high school, but what's one that would fit if you had to pick one for you?
One that's gonna. Well, I told you when I was a kid, I was Captain Weird. They called me. The teacher gave me a nickname, Captain Weird.
We have a new Marvel Universe, Chaos and Weird.
What grade was that?
This would be 5th grade.
So in 5th grade in Mount Shasta,
Mm-hmm.
your teacher nicknamed you Captain Weird.
Yeah, it was actually 4th grade, 5th grade. I had the same teacher. And I also, when you got in trouble, right? When you got in trouble, you had to sit. I had my own row. I permanently had to sit in the bad row. But
There was a bad row?
There was a
Was
bad row.
Was it a different color or farthest from the window?
it was just farthest from the window. Yeah. And I had to sit in the front of the bad row. And I was always there as a permanent resident. But then everybody else who got bad had to temporarily sit in my row. And I was
Wait,
Captain
was there
Weird.
anybody else in your role normally or just you?
It was only me. And then through the day when people were bad,
What?
he'd be like, you got to go over there with Captain Weird. And then everybody come over.
Wow.
He was the greatest teacher too. He read us The Hobbit. We were just talking about The Hobbit. And he would have a thing called the penalty box. If you did something, you had to go up and dip your hand into the penalty box, and you might have to do a 500-word essay. You might have to
10
do
sit-ups?
10 sit-ups. You might get a free pass out of it.
Wow.
It was
Meet the
like,
teacher in the closet after class.
he was a cool guy, actually. But at the
So
end
do
of
you
the day,
still think that nickname fits?
no, of course not.
Yes,
Because
it does.
Because Captain Chaos would have worked for me when I was 10 to now.
Yeah. Yeah, would have. Oh, of course, I'm a little weird. I think. I keep asking my girlfriend if I'm weird, and she's like, nope, you're not weird.
yeah.
You're not weird because
I think
you
she's trying
want
to-
me to call you weird.
No, I think she's trying to convince herself. That
yeah,
it's just not
exactly.
Yeah, she knows if she admits it, she's out the door.
Yeah, exactly. So she can't admit it to herself.
true. All right, James.
Did you have a captain nickname by
come
any
on.
chance?
Come on, if we're both captain, do you have a captain
I
something?
did not have a captain.
Come on. Okay, if you had to pick a nickname that literally fits you,
My nickname for the longest time was Stickman.
Oh, that's right. Well, and that's kind of your email too, right?
My email's Jack Rabbit Slim.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go, people.
Then what about? Okay, now
I want to edit that.
these days, everybody has a gamer name though, right? Like, don't you have like when you go on gaming? Don't you like what's yours? Mark Rassafrats, right? And that's after like an old school.
It's a 1920s term that means "dang it" or "damn it."
Yeah, right. I'm still Jack Rabbit Slim.
Oh, okay, and I'm Vox 409. I do everything on that, right? So there you go.
You really don't have a nickname, so Stickman would be your nickname. But I understand why you say that because you played the drums in a punk rock band, so Stickman works.
I was just a skinny, tall.
Yeah, well, and you're not really overweight now. You're a runner, so you still kind of fit that.
I'm a
mode.
Semi-runner these days.
Well, okay.
Well, my kids call him Pretzel Stick, is what they do.
Do they really?
They seriously do. They don't even, I don't even, I mean, I know that one of my kids knows your name is James, but everybody else calls you Pretzel Stick.
Yeah, maybe two know.
Yeah.
My real name. I think everybody else is Pretzel Stick.
Yeah, because
really
he
sad
sent me something with Stickman in it.
We're Captain Chaos and Captain Weird with the sidekick of Pretzel Man. Pretzel Stick.
Pretzel Stick.
That was my nickname for the longest time.
Wow. Okay.
So then I have, we were kind of talking about earlier, I have this alias that I will use Axel as my alias, right?
You've used it at work.
I've used it at work. I've used it in different places. And how I came up with this is, it's usually I use the alias when, I used to have this whole system actually for official.
Tell us, Captain Weird.
For official mail. It would be, this is back in the day, right? It was like official mail, it would be William. And then anything that was entertainment to me, it would be Bill, like something that I wanted to get mail from. And then if it was music related, I would put Will. And then I'd also put Axel for, other fantasy football and stuff like that. So if I got a piece of mail, from something like from an insurance company, it was Axel. I was like, how did they get my name from me putting it on fantasy football stuff? Like, how did that happen? And I'd be able to trace where they got it from. Right? I know that's weird, but that's what I did.
This is 4D chess thinking here. You've got your ex-wife is like, why is there 4 different names on your mail?
Well, she literally signed me up for something for Jelly Belly and blew my mind. I'm like, how did Jelly Belly get my name? And I was freaking out, and she was like, oh, I did it just to mess with your mind.
I'm very concerned about you.
Wow.
But I got Axel because when I worked for the phone company back in the day, it was 411. And you could use your name. They had a little recording, like an 8-track tape that you recorded your name with, and it would automatically come on. Hi, this is Bill. What city, please? But if there was another Bill or another William or anything like that, you couldn't use your name. You had to come up with a different name. Because it was almost like an ID so they could complain or whatever. And so somebody was William, somebody was Will, somebody was Bill. I had no other names, and I was whistling Axel F. And so I was like, how about Axel? I didn't even, this is so bad.
From Beverly Hills Cop.
But from Beverly, Axel F is the name, Axel Foley, and then the whole Axel F song, it's an instrumental song. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I had no idea, this is so horrible, that there was a guy named Axl Rose. I did not know this because I don't like Guns N' Roses. I don't like hard rock or whatever. And so as soon as I was like, hi, this is Axl, everybody's like, Axl Rose, dude, and Guns N' Roses. And then
you're like, no, the black guy.
Yeah, I know it's Axel F for Axel Foley. Anyway, then I just started using that constantly, and that's how you get your aliases, You don't have an alias?
No.
You don't have... With James Smith, I guess you don't need
one.
Nobody will find you anyway.
No.
Yeah.
I am who I am. I don't need 4 different personalities.
I'm on witness protection, so I'm okay.
You kind of go by Monty sometimes.
Rarely. People will call me that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm James. I get Jim, Jimmy, Smith, I get Smitty. All the older guys will call me that.
Oh,
I'll literally go, hi, my name is James. And I'll go, okay, Jim, see you later. Did I fucking say that?
Yeah.
Jimmy? That must bug you.
Ooh,
Jimmy.
I think you're a Jimmy. You're a better Jimmy than a James.
Really?
Yeah, don't you think?
No.
My grandma called my dad Jimmy Richard because he's James as well. And so that, to me, that was my dad, Jimmy Richard. So I wasn't Jimmy.
Huh.
And Jim, when you're younger, was just an old man's name.
Yeah.
It's Jim. So I was Jim.
James is so. Did you want to be called James?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As I say, people would say, do you want to prefer Jim or Jimmy? And I went with James.
You can actually call yourself Jay, too. You could, technically.
What's your middle name again?
Colin.
And your social security number.
111 111.
You could be JC.
111.
JC. That could have been you.
Could have been JC. Yeah, Colin's a cool name, actually.
Yeah.
How come you ever use that for anything?
No.
Really?
Again, I am who I am. I don't need aliases and pseudonyms and all that kind of stuff. James.
You know, there's.
I might have used Colin once or twice back in the day when I was picking up a girl that maybe I never wanted to know my name again.
You know what? So
Possibly when you're young.
we have Captain Chaos. We have Captain Weird. And with a name like James Smith, you should be Captain Bland.
Here we go now.
Got an idea for a topic? Who knows? We may reach out and use your suggestion on air. Let us know and visit damnopinion.com.
All right, you guys. I am a big fan of a Reddit. And maybe, I don't know, James, you might have gotten me into Reddit.
I got banned from Reddit.
Yes, you did.
That doesn't surprise
I
me.
mean, James, I was on Reddit for less than 24 hours and I got banned.
Yeah.
Again, chaos.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
No,
Yeah.
it's kind of normal for you.
It is kind of crazy. But I really do love, and you know what? Right now I'm trying to do a streak. You know how they have the streak of how many
That's
days in
why
a
I
row?
got banned.
Because you streaked?
You're not supposed to put pictures up there?
No, you're not. No. You
Okay.
can. Actually, Reddit, it's pretty much go for it all. I mean, that's-
Reddit, what do they call it? Moderators or whatever. They'll ban, depending on the subreddit, they'll ban you for really silly stuff.
Right. I mean, if you get on, like, I took a picture of this and it was on Mondays, you can't put a person on there, then they'll ban you. But there's also subreddits out there that are like, look
Those
at my
are
boobies.
nerds
Oh, yeah.
who never got power in life, and they have power as moderators.
Yeah.
It's the
It's stupid.
internet. Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
want? It's the internet.
But the subreddits themselves can be pretty nasty if you.
All right,
if
go
you're
ahead.
looking for it. Anyway, so one of my favorite places is the hypothetical questions. Of course, maybe you read these, but this is the hypothetical question. You are offered $1 million. Not a lot, really, when you think about it, but it's still $1 million. If you can compete a challenge of having the most boring consumption habits over the next year. You'll be limited to choosing one item in each category that you may consume over the next year. If you can manage this, you get paid $1 million, but you get no money until then, unless specifically stated. You're responsible for providing everything you want for the challenge and the categories. First category is this. So, food. You can only eat one food item during the challenge for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. It can be composed of multiple ingredients so long as it's considered a single food item. For example, a sandwich, burrito, casserole, or the like is fine, but a plate of eggs with bacon is not a single food item. If your selected item is not nutritionally complete, you'll be provided with a bland supplemental shake every day to make up for what you need.
Okay.
What would the food be?
Oh, that's easy. I got this already.
Okay. What is it?
If you're going to give me this, I'll take it. Otherwise, I have an alternate.
Okay.
A poke bowl.
That is.
I would eat a poke
that's
bowl
totally fine.
every day. Because
Really?
You could have rice. You could have protein as the fish. You could have vegetables in there, different kinds of things.
But you have to have the same
Yeah, the
one.
same poke bowl. That's fine.
Right. So what would be in your poke bowl?
Probably salmon and white rice with all these different toppings that come with it. And I can't name them all, but they all come with it on the poke bowl.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch, and like the radish and everything else. And then I'd probably have the like the gyoza sauce and some other sauce, some kind of creamy sauce.
And what's so great about that is if you're sick of the salmon, you can just put it to the side and
Yeah,
have the rice.
exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Pokeball's a pretty good answer.
That is a good answer.
I think I'm going burrito, though.
Like what would be in the burrito?
It would be tough to pick because I would want carnitas, but that's not really healthy to eat every single day. So I probably would replace it with chicken. And then I would have black beans, rice, avocado, salsa, well, like maybe a pico de gallo.
Cheese?
Definitely cheese. And I'm thinking one more, probably like when you go to Chipotle and you get the fajitas, because I usually put bell peppers and onions in my burrito at home, and I could do that every single day.
Yeah. Mine would be an omelet. I would have eggs, spinach, jack cheese, ham, sausage. I probably wouldn't have bacon in it. And then sour cream avocado. And then I would have that.
I knew Bill in college, and every morning he would have a Denver omelet.
He still has a Denver omelet everywhere we go.
That's true.
Every restaurant we go to, Denver omelet.
I love my omelet.
I'm surprised nobody said combination pizza.
Oh, after a while, have you eaten pizza a lot over and over?
That's why I didn't do it. I'm like, poke bowl I could do.
Yeah, it's like you start feeling greasy. Grease starts eating out of your.
I eat Mexican food all the time. I could do burrito every day because I would half that thing and have maybe some in the morning, some in the afternoon, another bit in the evening. I wouldn't eat the whole burrito at every single meal, and I could totally pick some stuff out of it. If I didn't want to eat the rest, I could do burrito every day.
Okay. All right. So the next category, second category of 6, drink. One beverage of your choice for whenever you like. Water is not considered a beverage for this challenge, and you may select something in addition to water.
Oh, okay, so you can have water and whatever else.
Yes.
Milk.
Oh.
So yours would be milk.
Milk.
Oh,
really? What kind?
Vitamin D, regular milk. That's what I drink every day. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. I go through a gallon about every 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
I'd have to have some carbonated something. Doesn't have to be soda. Just some carbonated flavored something.
Ginger ale?
No, I don't want to do soda because soda would be bad for you. But probably something like, those.
But something carbonated is not.
Yeah.
I was going to say, those like the ice drinks, they're called ice. They have flavors, but they're zero sugar kind of thing. But I'd probably something like that.
So some sort of like a flavored water.
Like a bubbly water.
Or if I can't do that, I would do just a Gatorade.
Oh.
Gatorade Frost.
Okay.
That's more sugar.
I would.
Well, you can get zero sugar Gatorade Frost.
Whatever, it's more sugar.
I would definitely do coffee without a doubt. I can't believe that none of you are saying coffee. I need my coffee.
Yeah, but you drink coffee. Like I have a cup and a cup and a half in the morning, and that's it. You're like 10 o'clock at night, cup of coffee.
I literally yesterday drank like 4 cups of coffee. And it's the death wish, so it's twice the caffeine.
It's dangerous.
And I went to bed, and then around 2:30 in the morning, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have drank that coffee. God dang it.
Anybody who hasn't had the blueberry death wish coffee out there, you should try it because it's crazy good.
I love my coffee, but if for this challenge, I could cut it out.
For a year.
It'd be a bitch for the first month or so, but
agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I could do it.
Yeah, all of this. Okay. Next category, 3 of 6. Music. One song only that you may listen to. If you are in a setting where music is being played and you have to be there, such as work, a doctor's office, etc., and have no control over the music, this doesn't count against you. But if you have the option of avoiding the music, you must take that option.
Oh my gosh.
So no concerts.
That nope. It's just
you're at a baseball game and they're playing the pump up music. You can't listen to it.
No, it just says one song only. You have to avoid any other music, so you can't go to.
So you can't go to a concert or any sport. You can't. You pretty much can't go to any activity.
Yeah, because I was thinking, go to the gym and you got music, right? Yeah. But you can avoid the gym. You can do it at home and not listen to.
Well, the grocery store has music in it.
Yeah, but you have to go to the grocery store, right?
Or they just play your song whenever you're there. That's all they play.
Yeah.
So you'd have to avoid basketball games, baseball games, football games. Couldn't go to them.
Do you know what the most annoying one would be for me that I would have to hear? Because I think he says it 78 times in the song.
What?
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Can you imagine listening to that song over and over and over for a year? I think I'd lose my mind.
What song would you listen to over and over?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
That's
Do you have
a toughie.
It is a toughie.
Well, I'm not sure the Pink Floyd Wish You Were Here. Is that all one song, that one album? It feels like it is, but
Wish You Were Here is just a song.
It's just, but it's a, 13-minute song?
They have a few long songs.
Yeah. So that might be it, or Hotel California, because I love that song. I can never get
that is a good song.
I was thinking it'd be Led Zeppelin or Eagles if I had to. If you're going to make me listen to one all the freaking time.
But you don't have to even listen to it. It's just.
I listen to music all day long. I gotta listen to something.
Isn't there a long instrumental song that's famous? Isn't there? I mean, other than.
I'm sure you could put on any Grateful Dead track, go like 28 minutes.
You know, yeah, you could put on a 28-minute Grateful Dead song. There's also that song Little Wing by
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. but like other artists have done like a
Concrete Blonde does an amazing version of it.
Really?
It's amazing.
I love that song. It's kind of blues. It is blues. And, you know, some of them have 28-minute long
I thought Kool and the
songs.
Gang did like a 14-minute like intro to one of their famous songs, and it was a release on an album. I think I would pick that one.
I'm going Led Zeppelin song. I don't know which one yet, but I'm going Led Zeppelin.
Okay, so I'll do the Pink Floyd.
Okay.
You're going to do Led Zeppelin. He's going to do the 14-minute Kool and the Gang.
Yeah, song because here's why. Because it's slow and it's really calm, and then it goes into their famous music for like the 4 minutes.
Okay.
And so,
oh no, I do like that where there's a long intro, and then it hits into the song, and you're like, yeah, okay, all right, okay. So, TV movies. You pick one movie or television show you may watch. If you pick a television show, you may watch everything within a single season of that show. If it's a movie and that has sequels, you only get one of them, not the whole set.
Oh, jeez.
If you are in a setting where a movie or a show is being played, you must make every effort not to watch it. Music is in your chosen show or movie. Don't penalize.
It's a chosen
Music in your chosen show or movie. Don't penalize you against the one song choice, so long as you're watching the whole show movie and not just listening.
So I could pick
to
The
it.
Office or Friends and watch the entire season as much as I want the whole year.
Just one season, not
Just
all
one
8
season,
seasons.
not all.
one
Okay,
season.
Yeah,
just one season.
Yeah, because I was thinking Breaking Bad, but you just only get one season.
and
Yeah.
you only get one movie. Not
And you
out of
only
a
get one
trilogy.
movie, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's tough. This is
Okay, you first on this one, Bill.
Well, I mean, being that it won't bother me if I don't see a movie or a TV show at all. It really wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I might pick something like The Wall from Pink Floyd. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Pink Floyd. I love them, but I would pick a musical or something like that. Something, because then I'd watch it, but I'd get to hear new music, you know?
But you can't. You have to avoid it.
No, if this does not penalize you, it says.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's Big Lebowski.
Oh,
Yeah, but oh boy.
I could watch Big Lebowski because I'm like Bill. I don't watch a ton of movies anyway. I'm either reading or watching sports 95% of the time. If I watch shows, it's usually with my wife, or I watch something if she's gone. But I Lebowski would be it for me.
here's the thing. When I had kids, and you guys had this too, like I watched Toy Story so many damn times. It's not even funny, right? So,
But to your point, you don't have to watch it all the time,
no, you don't.
right? There's no rule that says you got to watch a movie every single day.
No. So
every now and again, Lebowski.
yeah.
And I'd get some Eagles. I hate the fucking Eagles, man. You get a lot of credence in that movie. It wouldn't count against me.
All right, Mark, what do you think?
Let's just do the long TV when back in the 80s when they made the super long like TV series, you know, on television.
Like Shogun.
Like Shogun or Lonesome Dove.
You're going to watch Roots.
Yeah, Roots or Lonesome Dove or Shogun.
Oh, Lonesome Dove's a good one.
Yeah, I would pick.
I've never seen that one.
I'd probably do Lonesome Dove because
Okay.
it has a ton of. I mean, and it's long.
Oh, yeah.
Really, Lonesome Dove, how many episodes does it have?
How many does it have
12?
a TV series? Is it 8, 12, something like that?
I don't remember.
It was a long series.
Hey, what about some of these anime shows literally have like 187 episodes.
In one
season.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You're not a reader, but if there's two novels you need to read, East of Eden is one and Lonesome Dove. You need to read the
Really?
book is so much better than the TV show. The TV show's a little campy because
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s,
yeah.
but the book is an amazing book.
Well,
amazing.
and it's got everything in it.
Okay.
I mean, you have character development, and you have excitement, and you have death, and I mean, it's just crazy. throughout the
Diane
whole-
Lane. You have Diane Lane.
Well, speaking of books, that's the next category.
Oh, I could do this one.
One novel or work of nonfiction only. You are allowed a compendium of works so long as they are all published as a single physical book.
That's easy.
What is it?
It's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, of course. Okay.
I would probably say that too, and if I couldn't pick the same one as him, I would pick the Sword of Shannara.
And if I love the Sword of Shannara, and
If you happen to read.
yeah. But honestly, there's also, if you're really bored and you really don't have entertainment, There is a big compilation. It's one book, but it's like the history of the world. And I might try to tackle that big boy.
I have that book.
Oh, do you really?
I have that book too.
Okay. Did you guys read it?
Well, no, I didn't
Sections
read it
of
straight
it.
through. Yeah.
I've never read it straight through.
That's the whole thing. If I was super bored.
You wouldn't pick the compendium of William Shakespeare?
No, I don't think I'd enjoy it.
Bill, it is a dry book. Pick a different book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sword of Shannara then. There you go.
Pick a different book.
You know, or whatever. Yeah.
For you, it really should be like a graphic novel.
Well, there is a great graphic novel that I was thinking about, but
What's it called?
the Inkle.
Oh, Inkle. That's right. You mentioned that before.
All right, so 5 category website. You can only use one website for entertainment purposes. Apps that also exist as websites
That's easy.
count as a website.
Is it black and orange?
Wait a minute, I can't wait. You got to know the rules. Sites that you must visit as part of work or conducting required business like email, paying bills, etc. do not count against you. So what is the easy website?
YouTube.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, now let's ban YouTube from that and then pick.
Okay.
No, it's got to be YouTube.
No, let's say
YouTube.
let's say YouTube. You can't pick YouTube. So what else would you pick? And don't say Pornhub.
Does Google count as a website?
Well, it does.
Say technically
But
does.
but it takes you to other
takes you to
websites.
other
You can't go to the other websites. You can just look at them. Looky, we'll go there. I mean, honestly, my fantasy football website would.
You know what I would do?
VPN.
I got it.
Say,
No,
I was
changed-
just about to
If
say.
I can't do YouTube, I change my mind. It's ChatGPT.
Because you could say-
because I could have a conversation with ChatGPT forever.
You can have a conversation with other people forever.
I don't care about that.
For me, if we're the way we're talking, it'd have to be ESPN
Oh, that's a good one.
because I would get no other sports at all because I can't watch TV.
Oh yeah.
So for me, it would have to be ESPN to get scores and the news that's going on in sports. I'd say it's ESPN for me.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I need my NFL, so I would have to find a way to do the NFL, and that might be ESPN.
You would do
or,
NFL Network
or NFL Network
for you
or-
because you don't care about the other sports.
Yeah. I don't as
You don't.
much.
You
Yeah,
don't.
So,
Just admit it. You don't.
all right. The last category, games. One game only. This includes video games, board games, card games, and so on. Anything with equipment set up and a formal set of rules is a game. Informal games played with family and friends don't count.
Okay, so I have one game. It could be strategy or online or electronic.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick, and it's so funny if we don't repeat each other. I'd probably pick One Man's Sky. What's that one called?
No Man's
No
Sky.
Man's Sky. That's what it's called.
There it is. Okay, you play
Where
a video game.
You're basically going to different worlds, and I could do that for an entire year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, a video game like that with my personal skill level, it would take me 8 years to get through it. So, what about you, James?
I'm thinking video game, but it's a whole year. So that means you can't play any other games with anybody else.
Right.
Right.
So I'm thinking D&D.
So would it be Skyrim, or you play D&D by yourself?
Well, you have other friends, right? That's when you play your game is with other people.
Okay,
Because I can't play any other board game with anybody else.
Right.
And I like playing social other games with other people. So it would have to be D&D to do a social aspect type game.
D&D's
And
brilliant.
And it's a different game every time.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it can change. Yeah.
And it can change.
Yeah, as you know, Catan would be mine because I like the game and we do an annual Catan thing.
You would play Catan that often?
But honestly, guys, when we're looking at this entire list, literally, you could spend your time doing something else, like going to the gym, learning to play guitar, learning whatever, right? You don't have to do
Any of them.
these. Yeah.
Notice how none of Bill's stuff were projects outside.
So what
You can
so,
make a garden. You could
Have you seen my backyard?
make a fence.
so what's funny is if you put yourself in prison and all you got were these things. And you could
That's
and you
different
could
now.
have your prison cellmates play D&D with you and stuff, but that's all you get is what you just suggested in
But
prison. every
Bill's
day.
right. I could do a video game because you're not playing it that much.
Yeah.
Well, you could think Skyrim would be the closest one for D&D that would last forever.
There's a couple others, but Skyrim's a good one.
So That's it.
That's it. Those are the six.
Do I get the $1 million?
If you can go without doing anything else but the ones that you chose.
Talk to me 6 months into your Poke Bowl diet.
All right. I'll let you
That's really the hardest one.
It is the hardest one.
Because whatever you eat, eventually.
Eat and drink. Eat and drink is a toughie.
Oh, I could drink water and coffee. That's pretty much why I drink now. That's like not a problem.
That'd be a toughie.
All right. Ready? On your mark. You ready? We're going to do this.
Okay.
Get set. Go.
Okay, so we were out watching a concert the other night, and
How was Cyndi Lauper?
it was at a mall actually, and some band that was doing
Oh, sorry. How was Debbie Gibson?
was doing cover songs, and one of the couples that I was with, the guy, I guess it's like a TikTok thing these days. The guy does a channel, and the guy goes up to people and says like a couple words from lyrics of a song, and you have to finish it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that would be cool, I guess.
Okay. So I'm let loose.
Foot loose. Everybody cut foot
No.
loose.
He says I'm let loose.
I'm let loose.
You know, you have a punk rock background.
I'm trying to.
You're trying to make
You're
it
trying
more.
to go top 40 or R&B.
Do you have any Kenny Loggins in here? Because this is all we listen to.
Last one. I'm let loose.
I'm let loose. That's got to be. Is it? Okay,
From
help us out.
loose.
Oh, I was gonna say, was it?
AC/DC.
You got to help us.
No, that's the thing.
No,
He
no,
walks up
I
and says
know.
like two words, and so like one that he did was stop.
In the
name of love.
See, everybody's
That
got
one's
a different
easy.
one, and I was like, it's Hammer Time, but it's really Ice Ice Baby. What is it? Listen and collaborate or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one he did. But I was like, it's Hammer Time.
Yeah.
Okay, the sky was all purple.
And people are running everywhere.
There you go. What song?
Prince,
What song? That's the artist.
1999.
Very good. You missed two classes.
Is this the beginning before the Cyndi Lauper?
Hot
the
for
song?
teacher? I don't know.
No.
Oh, it's got to be the. Is it AC/DC again?
And no homework. It's Beastie Boys.
I knew it was something like that.
Of course.
So now you can play.
Well, I mean, I'd be picking things like Mike and the Mechanics and Stevie,
I know you would. You'd be
and
picking stuff
Stevie-
that nobody
and
ever.
Stevie Winwood. Yeah, I'd be picking some
Bill's
crazy
going to be
stuff.
really good at this game.
How about fuck? You know, come on. I say fuck, and what's the song you're thinking?
I don't know.
I'm shocked.
Okay, well, you got to
NWA?
Oh, the Police.
There's- I
You
mean,
saying that is shocking to me. I was trying to
just
think of
saying.
some other band. I was totally sideways.
That's your background. Come on.
I do.
No, you got to do things that he's going to know, like Hells.
Bells.
Of course. See, that's all the stuff.
I can do a lot, but I was waiting for because Bill is the singer in the group, so he knows the lyrics much better than anybody else.
But what you should know is that I was always known as the word man because I could never remember the words, and I just made shit up. A boot and tie thing, bow, yeah. And they thought I was singing words.
Like the Vince Neil videos that are going around.
Yeah, exactly.
Ham hit a dog.
Yeah,
If you've not seen those, look those up. They are freaking hilarious.
So this would be a fun game to play with people on like car rides and things like that.
So we were doing it at the concert. We would say a couple, and it's just funny to, especially you get the different generations in the songs, like we just did with "Stop," of what it could be.
You know what else is hard is going through the alphabet, and you have to name a song title, starting with the letter A, then starting with the letter B, and go through the whole alphabet.
And you can't give too much away. It's usually like one or two words that they give, right?
Right.
And then you got to
Exactly.
try and guess the rest of them.
But it is funny how you get a different person, like you said, stop. And
I was like,
everybody
it's
has
Hammer
to say- Yeah, exactly.
Wow, it's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, stop. No, really, stop. You know, I was looking at the numbers the other day for the podcast, right?
Okay.
And we're getting close to 9,000. 9,000 unique people have listened to us talk.
Wow.
So, you know, out of that 9,000, 897 probably hate us. 8,997.
I didn't know you had that many relatives.
Neither did I. But it's like, no, it's crazy because you're like, you're reaching people. Some some you don't. Some people just run across you and things like that. But it's like, wow, that's a lot of time. We've done 166 episodes. On
5 years.
And we left for a year, not to take hiatus, but to actually work super hard on another podcast.
That's true.
That we actually released just 10 episodes for the entire year.
5 years.
Yeah, so technically we've done 176 episodes that are somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour.
Pretty much we've done the exact same time that you would get for B&E.
Which is...
breaking and entering.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to say. You know the lingo, buddy. You totally like it.
And so it's basically reached the point where I think we're paroled on good behavior.
Yeah, we finally get to get out of jail.
Ooh, I can take this orange jumpsuit off.
Oh,
So what's funny is I do have one little thing to consider, but I want to ask a question. I mean, what did you learn in 5 years of speaking into a microphone that we got lucky enough, by the way, to understand sound and the quality of the sound initially were key. People have issues with this all the time in podcasts.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
But we nailed it out of the gate. We've always had good sound.
Yeah, you both did excellent on that.
So what are some things you've learned either about yourself or doing a podcast that you can say, hey, listen, others, if you're going to do a podcast, do this or realize this is going to happen?
Well, you hit it on the head. Yeah, but good sound. You have to enunciate. I'm just kidding.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I think it's very important not to talk over people and listen. So when you're doing with three guys, it's very hard not to talk over somebody, but you have to really, really listen and not wait for your turn to talk. But that's like life, right? So I think that's one of them.
Pulp Fiction. Are you listening or wait to talk?
Exactly. And I've learned that it's okay to do a podcast naked.
The hidden episodes.
Yeah.
I've learned that I never want to do a podcast again.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've learned that 5 long years with my friends is pretty damn fun, actually.
It is pretty fun. We've learned a lot about each other in the podcast that we didn't know for the 5 years previous to the podcast.
That is totally true.
That's true.
Yeah. We've learned each other's idiosyncrasies, and we've learned that I don't have a memory, and James is very cranky, and Mark is bizarre and Captain Chaos.
I would agree. So let me ask you a question. Since we talked about friends, this was my question, and I just want to give credit to all the listeners out there for staying with us. If you stayed with us this entire time, because this is our last podcast
for now.
Well, we're gonna possibly venture into other things. We may not be doing podcast stuff.
We might.
By the way, if you're a radio producer and you want us on the radio somewhere, we'd consider that. Just reach out. Just letting you know. What's the difference between friends and family?
Money.
What?
That was incredibly fast. What? Who has what? Do friends or family have money?
Family always wants your money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, you choose your friends. You don't choose your family.
Exactly.
That's
true. Are there benefits to either?
You learn lessons from every damn personality you ever come across. That's for sure.
Bill said it best. You pick your friends. Families.
Can your family ever be your friends?
Well, of course.
Really?
Yeah. Can they be the same level? That's the question you should be asking.
True.
Well, there's all kinds of different people, all kinds of different friendships, right? If you even just look at your group of friends, you might have friends that you have a common hobby with, or one that you share a favorite sports team, or whatever it is, or you just like the person, right? But you have different levels of why you're a friend with them.
True.
Right? So same thing with family, right? You could have a higher level of connection with one family member because you have shared interests.
I would agree. I mean, I had an interest in your mom until she passed.
And she loved you.
So that's a heartbreaker for me right there.
That's how you're ending our podcast?
No, I didn't know. I just no, I'm not. But
let's not talk about moms, okay? Let's just not.
But I know. I mean, okay. So family can become friends, and friends can become family. definitely. Or if you're having you have a bad family, let's say growing up, your friends can replace that if you have good friends.
Sure.
Or enhance it.
True. Or enhance it. And the whole point for me asking this question was, people grow attached to people either on the radio or on television or characters that they listen to. And the whole point is just because we may not be around anymore doesn't mean there's not a lot of good people you can actually befriend. Go out and talk to people. One of the things I learned in the podcast was it's easy to talk to people. It's easy to talk to you guys. I know you, but it becomes easier to talk to others because you're already putting yourself out there. They're just not in front of you. If you just do the same thing in life, you're going to succeed.
And we'll give you Mark's phone number at the end of this podcast so you can reach out to him.
Yeah, if you see me on the street, don't talk to me.
But I do realize there's one thing that's different than friends and family.
What's that?
You can't sleep with your family.
You could.
Well, isn't your wife your family? That tells me a lot about you, buddy.
We wanted to take a moment and say a special thank you to each person who has made our podcast and this time together more special. It's a different world we live in, but it doesn't mean giving up the special moments in our lives and the special people who made them even better. So purposely call someone today to tell them how much they mean to you, how much they have made a difference, because kindness is free. You never know what an impact you'll make. And if you're going through struggles, know you're not alone. Realize that others do care. Take a moment to change your mindset. It will change your outlook, which will change your behavior and ultimately your life. So thank you to each of you. You have made all of this better. And here's wishing you all the best. damnopinion.com